how do I explain having $50 and $50 ends up paying my bills and also ends up making sure that I have gas to drive around, and that's all I have is $50, and that $50 takes me through the entire week. Anybody in here know what I'm talking about? Those are things that just doesn't make sense. How does it make sense for the doctors to say to me that you're in trouble? And matter of fact, you might as well plan your funeral because you're not going to make it. And then you go back to the doctor and he takes some x-rays, and he does all of these things, and he says, I can't understand it. Well, you can understand it. You had a but God experience. Some things does not make sense to the human mind, but it makes all kinds of sense to the spiritual mind. Can I get a witness in here? And every time I test God, and every time I understand that God thinks more than I think, God knows and understands more than I know, then I come to understand that nothing is impossible. Let me say it one more time. Nothing is impossible for God. So that when I look at it in the mental and physical realm, it doesn't make sense. But when I look at it on God's side, everything makes sense. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, everything in God's mind makes sense. So then, in the Bible class this past Wednesday night, we were talking about, in Genesis, we were talking about dominion. And in Genesis, it was Adam who gave the names to all of the, to what, everybody? And then the text says that God gave man dominion. What does dominion mean? Ladies, what does dominion mean? Dominion means rulership. It means to rule over, to be, for someone to be subject under you. That's what dominion means, right? Am I right or wrong? So now God gives man dominion before sin. Before what, everybody? He gives man dominion before sin. And so Adam, he names the elephants, and he names the tigers, and he names ducks, I guess. Yeah, he did. He names everything. And he looks around, and guess what he doesn't see? He don't see nobody like him. Well, it's a good thing that he didn't see nobody like him. Because if he saw somebody like, I ain't going over that. I'm not going over that. I'm definitely not going over that. And so what takes place is, now get this and get it good. God could have created Eve the same way he created Adam. Can I say it again? I said God could have created. He could have created Eve the same way he created Adam. But he did not do that. He went inside of Adam and took out a rib and made Eve, meaning what? That's the word. they were supposed to be equal in dominion. Are y'all not up in here? They were supposed to be equal in dominion, yet submissive to the Creator. I'm going to say it again. Equal in dominion, yet subjective to the Creator. So then, because they were supposed to be equal in dominion, I really don't know what happened. But before sin, there was such a thing as stewardship. Hey. Say it one more time. Before sin now, there was such a thing as stewardship. Y'all not in here. Say it one more time. Before sin, there was such a thing as stewardship because they were supposed to take care. They were supposed to take care of everything because they were supposed to have dominion. So if I have dominion over something, what am I supposed to do? That's why, sisters, if you got some man who can't take care of you, you got a problem. Because when sin enters to the world, there is a division in dominion. What is there? A division in dominion. Okay, so now, in stewardship versus dominion, there is a difference. Because now, before sin, equality. What did Eve do? Ladies, what did Eve do? God said, let me help y'all. God says, listen, you can eat everything you want to eat in the garden except don't touch this tree. Now, this tree is planted in the midst, not on the east wing, not on the west wing. It's planted in the midst of the garden. Now, who told Eve to go over there? She told herself. Can I show you what self said? Don't I look good when you look in the mirror? Huh? Self says, I really like this. So what self does is self goes and get it. Am I 100% correct? Am I right or wrong? Because self says I need it. Everything I need is not always good for me. The most interesting thing about self is not only does self say I need it, but self is curious. So stewardship now on this side is a relationship that every person, what? There it is up there. Bears to God. God said on the other side before sin to man, and when the woman was created, he said, you have dominion. Isn't that what he said? So now after sin on this side, stewardship now becomes a relationship that every person bears to God, which means it's in reverse, which means it's on this side of sin and on the other side where there was no sin. Are y'all in here? Secondly, it says, if a person does not or refuses to accept this connection with God's divine source to your life, you are denying God's authority. You are denying God's authority in your life. So then that's why maybe some of us have not yet received the gift that God has for us. Because too many of us have membership and we don't have discipleship. Now, it's really interesting. It's really interesting because watch this. Watch this. There was no such thing as discipleship before sin. Am I right? There was no such thing as discipleship before sin. Because what is discipleship? Watch this. In order for us to be saved, what had to happen? God had to send his son down here to do what? Come on, talk to me. To die, right? And in the process of all of these entities, God gave up something. What did he do? He sacrificed. What did he do? He sacrificed. So then the reason why some of us are not real disciples is because we have not yet really cultivated the understanding of what sacrifice is all about. Pastor, you are a lie. You are a lie, Pastor, because I sacrifice all the time to make sure my children have what they're supposed to have. So you a lie. Your children are not God. Let's say it one more time. Your children are not God. God says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all of these things shall be and will be added. So then my ultimate goal to receive what I am supposed to receive is to be a faithful steward to God first. Not to my wife. Not to my kids. My first obligation is stewardship to God. Now watch this. Watch this. God says, I own everything. What does he say? I own everything. So then stewardship now involves every facet of life. What does stewardship involve? And the reason why I'm saying it is every facet of life is because, watch this. If I don't work, I don't what? My kids are not here right now. But they used to say, I'm grown. Yeah, you're grown. But are you financially grown? See, there's a whole new ball game. Are y'all not up in this? A whole new ball game. See, when I was growing up, I didn't think nothing of opening up the refrigerator, getting anything I wanted to get. Drink, juice, bread, meat, whatever I wanted. And to me, it was what? Free. Am I right? But when I left on to go on my own, not only did I have to own a refrigerator, for you old folk, icebox, y'all remember that word? You know, not only did I have to own the refrigerator, but I had to buy stuff to put in the refrigerator. While BJ was in college, BJ, you know, BJ shared areas. You know how you share area? And BJ put stuff in the refrigerator, and he called, Daddy, I'll put all this stuff in this go. So stewardship, if stewardship involves every facet of life, shouldn't stewardship also involve every facet of eternality? Huh? Shouldn't it? So then if stewardship involves this side and it involves the other side, then which side am I on the most? Am I laying up more on this side than on that side? Can I say it again? Now watch this. Watch this. Watch the principle that God had. The principle God says, he says, I own everything. So because I own everything, guess what I don't need? I really don't need nothing from you. I'm going to say it again. I own everything. I really don't need nothing from you. But because you say, but because you say you love me, and because you say you want to receive the inheritance that I have for you, I need to try you. I need to what, everybody? I can't hear you. I need to what, everybody? I still can't hear you. I need to what, everybody? I need to try you. So here's what God says. You call out to God for help, and he helps. He's also a responsible father and won't let you get by with sloppy living. He helps. Wait, I'm going to say it again. He helps. No. You still haven't caught it. He helps. I'm going to say it again. He helps. I'm going to say it one more time because you still haven't caught it. He helps. I'm going to say it one more time because you still haven't caught it. He helps. But why? But the reason he helps is because you are his child, but at one point or another, you need help again. But if you needed and did everything God told you to do, Abraham didn't need no money, did he? He didn't need no money, did he? He could have bought him a Bentley and still had money. He had giraffe money. You know, giraffe money? Abraham had giraffe money. Anybody here got giraffe money? I don't even have Volkswagen money. Abraham had giraffe money. Job had giraffe money. All of these people had giraffe money. They didn't need no help financially, but they needed help spiritually. Did y'all get that? They didn't need no help financially, but they needed help spiritually. What condition are we in? We need both. We need both. We need both. Why do we need both? Could it be that we practice our faith one week and next week we say, God, you know? Repeat after me, God what? He gives. He gave us what? He gave us what? Then he gives us what? He gives us what? Resources. What is a resource? Talk to me. What is a resource? Help me. A help aid. A help aid is something that I can use and continue to reuse and look back, see what it did for me, and use it again. Isn't that right? But what happens is we use our resource, then we stop using it. And so now we're back where we started from. My resource is something that I am supposed to use on a consistent basis. It's like they have updates. What's an update? Young people, what's the update? I got a computer. It's new what? It's new information, but it's an update, and it's supposed to give me more information, and it's supposed to make things better for me. Baby, when was that? Was that about a month or so ago? I hit my iPad to update, and you get accustomed to doing certain functions certain way. So what the update did was change my consistency. And I'm fooling around, and I've gotten frustrated. I give this thing to my wife. Hey, baby, please get this straight, because I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. But after a while, guess what I discovered? Not only how to use it, but it's more resourceful than it was before, which means I had to learn how to implement it and then learn how to use it. God says, try me. You know what he says? He says, try me, implement me, and see if I will not open you up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you shall never, ever, ever, turn to your neighbor and say, never, ever, ever, ever be able to receive. So when God gives us resources, he then turns around and he says, we should have need of nothing. I was trying to figure that out last night. Nothing. What nothing? I mean, that's baffling. When God says, he gives me so much that I have need of nothing. Y'all ever thought about that? I mean, now that's what he said. Now I didn't say it. He says, I'm gonna give you so much that you will have need of nothing. Is there anything in here that somebody think they need right now? That was my problem. Because I started thinking about stuff I needed. Then the answer came to me, do you really need it? Wait a minute. Wait now. How many of you want something, but you really don't need it? I don't know why y'all ain't raising y'all hand. Y'all might as well tell the truth. I mean, come on now. There's something I want. Means that I have need of nothing that I really don't need. Did that make sense? Wait a minute, did that make sense? I need to breathe. I need to wake up. I need to be able to read and write. That's let me put it to you. Let me put it to you like this. This type of nothing means God gives me some automatic things. Oh, y'all not up in here. God gives me some automatic things that I really don't even think about. How many of you think about breathing? It's a natural. Isn't it natural? Try to stop breathing and see what happens. No, try it right now, just for the heck of it. Try it. And before you know, huh? Because God says, get this good, God says, everything that I give you, the price never goes up. But the value increases. Oh, y'all didn't get that. The price doesn't go up, but the value increases. So God says, I tell you what, if I give you, now watch this. If I give you $1, who gave it to you? You sitting there, God ain't gave me nothing. I got out there and worked for it. And some of them people made me really want to cuss them out. Right? Come on now, am I right? I know I'm right. You know, I know I'm right. God didn't give me nothing. Yeah, he did. He woke you up in the morning so your hips could wake up. You may not be to church on time, but you at work on time. Huh? So then get this good. God gave you the $1. Am I right? Now, if I'm wrong, tell me. God gave you the $1, and God says, I'm really your partner, but I'm more than a partner. You just give me 10 cents. And what I'm going to do is the 10 cents that you gave me, I'm going to stretch the 10 cents that you gave me, and you're going to really have $2. Now, wait. I'm going to stretch it. You give me the 10 cents, and I'm going to make sure it don't make sense now. It really, truly, it don't make, I know, mathematically, 1 and 1 is 2. I know it don't make sense, but I'm going to tell you, I'm a minus plus a plus. So then, if all of these things interact, and it does, God gives us blessings to lead through us. Now that's deep. God gives us blessings. God gives us blessings to lead through us. Okay. So then, here's the point. Here's the point. What I give to God, God doubles it. So then I am, in turn, and supposed to bless somebody else. Now, does blessing somebody else mean I got to give you money? Could it mean just saying good morning? Could it mean being kind? Wait a minute now. Could it mean blessing the church through your ministry? Could it mean being on time? Could it mean really knowing what your ministry and anointing is all about to do it when it's supposed to be done? I'm just asking some stupid questions. Because when God gives me a blessing, he expects that blessing to leave me and go someplace else. Because what did God bless you with? He blessed you with everything. Not only did he bless you with everything, but get this. He re-blessed you so you could have eternal life. I'm going to say it one more time. He re-blessed you because how many of you in here have never sinned? Let me bring it. Can I bring it a little closer? How many of y'all messed up last night? Don't raise your hand. Don't raise your. Just like that, huh? But the point I want you to really truly understand is that God gives, He gave, He gives, and He re-gives. Because every time I mess up, all I got to do is say, forgive me. And what is that? A re-giving. How many of us are re-giving? Mm-hmm. Now, the reason why, can I have about 5 more minutes? Okay. The reason why, now get this good. The reason why I am supposed to be a disciple and not a member in giving funds, love, time, and means. Can y'all read that? To develop me for the goal which God has prescribed and ascribed for my life. That's what faithful stewardship is all about. I'm going to say it one more time. Can y'all say it? Talk to me. To what? To develop. Say it again. To what? For the what? What goal? To develop me for the goal that God has given who? That's deep, isn't it? The goal which God has given me and has ascribed for my life. So then if I don't reach the potential that God has given me, that's why I'm so miserable. That's why I'm having so many issues. That's why I'm not being blessed. Because God has a specific goal. He has a specific position that I am supposed to be in, and He expects me to reach it by His grace. Huh? Okay. How many of us have children? I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but I know and believe that you're going to say the same thing that I say. When you had your child, you looked, first thing you did, boy, sure looked like me. And then as the child began to grow, you start living in the child. Huh? If I'm wrong, tell me. Okay. And then you have specific goals for your child. Even though they have the power of choice, you have specific goals for your child. Am I wrong? Now, if you have specific goals for your child, don't you think God has the right to have a goal for you? God has a right to have a goal for you. Now watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Every step of the way, you try to train and direct that child towards that what? Am I right? Come on now, talk to me. Every step of the way you attempt to have that child go to that specific goal. Why? Come on, y'all answer the question. Why? Oh, you deep that girl. She said to reach maximum potential. To reach maximum potential. Potential for what? Independence. But yet remember where you came from. Because you say, one of these days, you're going to have to take care of mama and daddy. And I want you to be independent. But yet connected to who? Doesn't God have those same rights? So then, why are you getting mad at me? Why are you getting mad at me? Because my potential for what God has for me is growing and yours is stagnant. Why are you getting mad at me? Why are you talking about me? Because I use my talents and you won't use yours. Why are you getting mad at me because I can't sing like Robert? Why are you getting mad at me? Because I have the ministry of being a good secretary, or like Keisha, she almost knows, she already knows the way I think. Everything is right. But my point is, watch this. My point is, we all have specific goals that God has placed in each and every one of us to perform, not only in the church, but to perform outside. One more thought. And I'm going to close. And I'll pick this up next week. A means of grace is not a cause of grace. Let me say it one more time. A means of grace is not a cause of grace. I'm going to say it one more time. A means of grace is not a cause of grace. See how they looking at me, Steve? Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, a means of grace is not a cause of grace. Say it one more time like you really mean it. Now, neighbor, a means of grace is not a cause of grace. What are you talking about, preacher? Grace is there because every once in a while in my life, I need it. But it is not the vehicle for me to use it just because I want to do wrong. I want to do wrong. There's this old song, I don't want to be right. Y'all remember that? Oh, no, that's another one. That's another one. Watch this. Watch this. There are specific habits in my life that I wrestle with all the time. And these habits have become so good to me that I really can't make it without doing it. But I'm trying to overcome it. Huh? I'm trying to overcome it. And sometimes these habits are done involuntarily. You know, I just got to have it. I struggle against it, but I just got to have it. That's where the means of grace comes in. Because ultimately, if I keep asking for forgiveness, watch this. Watch this. Here's the church. Somebody stands up, testify. I used to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a week. But this week, I only smoked 2. He go to church. He's still smoking. But the grace says, oh, y'all ain't up in here. The grace says he's down to 2. Somebody testified. I only had, went to the club, only had 3 vodkas. The church says, he ain't nothing but a alcoholic. Don't he know he shouldn't be drinking? Now you know what? Grace made him stand up and testify that he's trying to change his life. That's the means. Now here comes the cause. Can I give you all the cause? I'm gonna go sit down. Here comes the cause. Here comes the cause. This is the beautiful thing about stewardship. This is the most beautiful thing. I'm gonna try to paint it to you. Here comes the cause. I know I got a problem. I know I got a problem. And I'm struggling with this problem. And while I'm struggling with this problem, Ed, I'm driving home and boom, there's an accident and I get killed. I'm wiped out, Ed. Here comes the cause. Here comes God's mercy. He already knew I was tried, and his grace, somebody ought to start clapping in here. His grace supplies what I didn't finish. He finished it for me. He finished it for me. I say he finished it for me. Not for you, but he finished it for me. He finished it for me.